Yep.
Well, my friends, are you ready to head out?
Let's go.
Wonderful. Remember to...
Wir gehen einfach an der Levels.
Mother, I have returned.
Bronya, I thought I'd lost you. Where were you? Are you hurt? I'll fetch the butler right away.
No, there's no need. I don't want to see Sebas right now. Sorry, Mother. I'm fine, really. I just got into a few skirmishes down in the underworld, but nothing I couldn't handle.
The underworld? Oh, I see. In that case, report everything you saw. Commander Bronya.
After the failed pursuit at Backwater Pass, the wanted outsiders and I were somehow taken to the underworld. Because of the difficult situation we were in, we formed a temporary alliance to help the residents of the underworld resolve a few issues of survival. We also defeated an ancient robot known as Svarog and learned some truths about the Stellaron.
I'm listening. Go on.
Madam Cacolia, it is my firm belief that the visitors from beyond the sky are not the villains we had imagined before. I witnessed them take up arms in the name of justice and risk their lives for the sake of others. I can also ascertain that they did come for the Stellaron, but only to relieve the disaster it has brought upon Belobog. Mother, you've always known the truth about the Stellaron, haven't you? Well, the responsibility of bearing that truth will fall upon me one day. Such is the burden of being guardian, to carry these secrets for eternity. So, I ask you to forgive my defiance, but I believe that the order to dispatch the outsiders was a mistake. To solve the problems brought on by the Stellaron, the architects waited hundreds of years, and those outsiders may be the...
Enough! Arrogant. Ignorant. Oh, you disappoint me, Bronya. You merely glimpsed the tip of the iceberg, and now you think you know everything. You spend a short time with that underworld scum, and suddenly you have the audacity to question my orders? Guards! Take Brown.
They are not scum. My entire life. Everything you ever kept from me. I remember it clearly now. This time I am standing my ground, Madam Guardian. And please, stop dismissing me with vague excuses. Tell me what you have seen. What exactly it is you are hiding. Why do you send the Silvermane guards to die in the Fragmentum? Why have you abandoned the people of the underworld? And why? Why did you have that sudden change of mind?
I see. I knew this moment would come sooner or later. I just didn't expect it would be so soon. You want to know why I gave those orders? Is that right? Do you believe you're ready to learn the truth?
Yes. I am ready. Mother?
Then come with me, Bronya. It is time you heard it. The voice of this dying world.
We're finally back. I forgot what fresh air tasted like.
Und? Wie ist's?
Freedom. A cold. Mainly cold, actually. Let's go. Where's our next stop? We should find somewhere to put our feet up. As long as it's not Goethe Hotel again.
Classic unreliable Sampo. He probably guessed we'd ask where his hiding place was. No sooner are we back in the administrative district than he sneaks off.
Wir sollten uns in offenen Gebieten... Wir sollten uns in offenen Gebieten... Okay, keine Ahnung. Das kann ich nicht nehmen. Ich kann es nicht übersetzen. Freund in Not ist ein wahrer Freund. Das kann ich leider nicht so geil übersetzen, wie es da steht. A friend in need is a friend indeed. Ich finde das ziemlich geil, aber ich kann das so nicht
The
übersetzen.
bro or the sis? If you're talking about Japard, we should be careful. He's a top Silvermane guard. He'd probably get a medal for every one of us he brought in. Don Hung, what do you think?
I think it'd be best to pay a visit to Serval land now.
So, you think we should avoid Japard for the time being, right?
He's an elite officer of the Silvermane Guards. It wouldn't be easy to get to him. Besides, if he hasn't been persuaded by Branya's letter, we'd be walking right into the lion's den.
Makes sense. Guess we better head over to Serval's workshop then?
Yep.
But we must keep a low profile. We're still wanted fugitives.
What's wrong, Zila?
Nothing. It's just a little... new. The last time I was on the surface, I was still a child. I have no memory of any of this. The overworld and the underworld. We've been cut off for so long. I'm okay. Let's go.
Okay.
There are so many Silvermane guards on patrol. Is it usually like this?
No. I don't remember the security being this tight last time. Might have something to do with us. The Supreme Guardian has
Hello.
probably learned of our arrival already. Branya.
Who is it? Shop's closed today. You'll have to come back tomorrow.
Wir sind die Radiatorenfixer.
I remember. The three outsiders. Wait, why are you still strolling around the city? Do you know the Silvermane guards are looking all over for you?
We don't care.
Act natural and get inside. Don't get spotted.
Schon passiert.
All right, you'll be safe here. My workshop has pretty good soundproofing and barely anyone comes in. Just what crime did you commit exactly? They recalled a bunch of guards from the front line to track you down. It's unprecedented. Now they're patrolling the whole city and everyone's in a panic.
What?
Oh, we just...
Not yet, March. Branya said we could trust you completely.
You mean to say you don't trust me completely? Good. That's smart of you. But you needn't worry. Kokolia and I aren't even on speaking terms. It was her that ejected me from the Architects. I refuse to stand with her. I don't believe you guys would do anything bad. And the Architects are gonna need conclusive and publicly available evidence for me to think otherwise. Besides, I know the Architects, and if they did have any evidence, they would have released it by now. I know Kokolia's style. Get everyone into a frenzy first. Most people in a frenzy don't stop to ponder the details.
Magst du Kokolia nicht? Magst du Kokolia nicht? Alter, meine Stimme. Sie verschwindet wieder. Hilfe!
Dislike? We were like sisters once. Inseparable. Of course, that was all before she became the Supreme Guardian. These days, I just spend my time fixing things in this workshop and playing music. It's a pretty carefree existence. If I'm not careful, I'll start boring you all with sob stories from the past. Let's get back to you guys. If long-lost Branya told you to come here, you must have something important to tell me. You can trust me. I know our paths have only crossed once before, but my intuition tells me you guys are good people. And I've got good intuition, by the way.
Ich glaube, wir sollten ja... Ich glaube, wir könnten dir eine Kurzversion davon geben. Von Anfang bis Ende.
No! I'm the best storyteller! Let me! Let me!
Ich sagte Kurzversion.
Try not to embellish the facts.
2 Stunden später. Okay, das ist... Okay.
So that's what's been happening. No wonder we hadn't heard from Bronya recently. After all these years in isolation, and without a single word from below, this is what's become of the underworld?
Yep.
I believe you. There's no way
Yay.
you could have invented all those twists and turns. What's more, we have Miss Sela here as living proof. As for the Stellaron, I know why Bronya got you to find me. When I was still one of the architects working in the scientific research division, I was researching the Stellaron. I never thought I'd hear that word again after being expelled by the architects. Come on, I'll tell you everything.
Okay, und was ist jetzt mit den Karten? Wann bekomme ich die? Ich habe immer noch einen Jungen, den ich upgraden muss. Und ich kann das nicht tun. Man kann die nirgends kaufen. Soweit ich weiß zumindest. Ich versuch's. Oh. Stimmt, das sollte ich vielleicht noch. Die Traces. Ich hab voll die Traces vergessen, oh Gott. Relikte sind gut genug. Den Rest kann ich, glaube ich, lassen. Alles so gut, wie es ist. Gut, dann zu dir. Deine Traces, die darf ich auch nicht vergessen. Ah. Nicht genug, okay. Deine Relik, du hast noch gar keine du bist gar nicht mehr im... Du bist gar nicht mehr im Team. Doch, du bist schon mal noch im Team. Ach nee, ja, stimmt, das war ein anderes temporäres Team. Ups, fast vergessen.
Only a very few people in Belobog know of the existence of the Stellaron. Those that do would never associate it with the Fragmentum or Eternal Freeze. But according to the data recorded in that robot, Svarog, the architects dug out the truth long ago. The research results were purposely hidden away to ensure that the outside world would never know of them. Just my luck. Out of all the research topics I could have chosen, I insisted on the Stellaron. It's clear now that anyone who wanted to get closer to the truth would have been expelled or abandoned. Maybe I should be thanking Kokolia. All she did was push me out. She could have decided to take a more permanent measure.
Können wir mit Shepard reden?
Japard? Not a chance. He's a decent guy, but also famously uncompromising. For my brother, orders are more important than anything. Even if you stuck Bronya's letter to his forehead, he wouldn't be swayed. You need to choose your words carefully if you want to persuade him of something. It might be best if I talk to him. Though, I'd need a strategy first.
Wie viel weißt du über das Stellaron?
I figured out that the Stellaron and the Fragmentum were linked, so I was already close to the truth. It's a shame that the architects ejected me before I could discover that the source of the Fragmentum was the Stellaron itself. Before I lost my position, I was applying for permission to survey the Stellaron directly. It was my research topic, but I'd never even set eyes on it. My research was all based on historical data and lab simulations. Not long after I submitted my preliminary report and application, I received my punishment. It was obvious that somebody didn't want my research to continue.
Weißt du zufälligerweise, was Kokolias Scroll ist?
Kokolia... It's been so many years since we last
Oopsie.
spoke. We were great friends once. There was nothing we wouldn't share. She became a completely different person when she took on the Supreme Guardianship. The convictions she once held, her enthusiasm, it was like they were drawn out of her by some mysterious force. She gave the order to expel me herself and refused to see me. I never understood that behavior, and I gave up trying to use logic to work it out a long time ago. Sometimes I even wonder whether she really did become a different person. Is that possible? Perhaps there's a single guardian consciousness that gets handed down from generation to generation, and the real Kokolia has already vanished.
Ich wollte gerade den Call starten, aber ich konnte nicht, weil du den Call gestartet hast.
Ich bin immer der Schnellste, wenn es um den Call starten geht.
Yes.
Ja, wir gehen hier einfach noch kurz durch.
I never observed it directly, but I used lab simulations and outbound surveys to establish a rough location.
Das ist auch das Geile, ich muss nicht alles übersetzen, weil es Voice Acting hat.
According to the survey results, the Stellaron is likely to the north of Belobog, somewhere in the vast snow plains.
We must locate it as soon as possible. Ideally before Kokolia takes action. Can you tell us the way?
Ich hab den
Not a
Stream
problem. I was thinking the
lautlos.
same thing.
Das ist ein Stream
Aber ich
lautlos.
hab-
I'm afraid
Ja, aber ich hab's
telling
trotzdem,
you
damit ich
might
mich
not
nicht
be
in
enough.
Discord doppelt höre. Ich weiß nicht, ob das Problem ist. Nee, ist es nicht. Ich höre mich nicht doppelt. Ich höre immer noch den Ton ein bisschen in deinem Mikrofon doppelt.
Also hier ist Audio-Teilen aktiv. Ah,
Ja, nee, ich hab ihn,
glaub-
ich hab ihn bei mir einfach gemutet. Das
aha.
war.
Ach so.
The area to the north of Belobog has been more or less swallowed up by the Fragmentum. If you want to get to the northern snow plains, you'll need to get past the Silvermane Guard restricted zone on the front lines first. Even if you get past the restricted zone in one piece, you'll have a whole heap of Fragmentum to deal with.
One Piece?
Einen ganzen Haufen von Fragmentums.
Correct. And it's different from the underground towns you described. The Fragmentum there has quite literally torn everything to pieces. There's no sign of life, despite the monsters.
Oh,
Sounds
super.
like the three of us and Zila might not be enough. Why don't we go back underground and get Wildfire to come with us?
I fear we may not have the time.
Hey, enough pessimism. Back in my official capacity days, I spent a lot of time in the north. I got to know the soldiers and officers on the front line very well. This calls for brainwaves, not brawn waves. How about I take you over myself?
Really? Great! Phew. It's less scary if someone you know is leading the way.
I want to see the Stellaron too, you know. It was my research topic for over a decade.
Ich
You
weiß
don't
gar
get
nicht,
that
ob das
many
das letzte
decades in
Kapitel
life.
von dieser Welt ist.
That's settled then. There's no time to lose. We should head out as soon as you're ready.
Okay, gut. Ab hier würde ich sagen, mache ich einen Cut. Mache ich einfach mal Logout.